Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And let me greet everybody real quick. Havorten Hadugu Dog, all the way to the bank. Vasas Los Bonja Mezami, Ketabawani Kunichiwa, Nihanyama, Sani Bonani, Jambo Harbaigani, Assalamu alaikum shalom. Kumusta ka, kumusta po kayo, talafa lava soy pua. Alright, so, brothers, let me break this down for you real quick. This Brittney Griner thing shows the entitlement of black women at the expense of the Afro man. Okay, so while they are being entitled, pushed forward and stuff, the brothers are just plainly forgotten, not only by them, but other brothers. Now, I bring this up because we have a black woman who, like all other American citizens or whatever we calling ourselves now, all right, was warned not to go to Russia. She goes, and when she goes, she gets caught up, and this looks like it may be bigger than what people are letting on to be. All right, this thing may be much bigger, and as we understood with the other case of a Brittney. And we're not going to get into that too deeply, but you know about the trap queen. The police had a warrant for her. They literally had a warrant for her. So she wasn't shot in her bed the way the media made it out to be. Like, this woman isn't a saint the way the media makes it out to be. All right. The police did a bunch of things wrong, as they generally have been doing. But they had a right to serve a warrant on this woman because she was a trap queen driving around with dead bodies in cars or letting her other boyfriend. It was just some crazy stuff. But by the time the media got done with the story, everybody was cheering for a trap queen. All right. In this case, you got a woman that goes over to somebody else's country with some heavy stuff in her bag that was sniffed out by dogs. Now, let me say this. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. When I go to Brazil or Colombia, and don't come into Brazil from Colombia, there's a lot of drug sniffing dogs around. There's a lot of drug sniffing dogs around. All right. So let's not get it twisted. All right. When you go to these places often, and these women play overseas, so they know the climate, they know what they shouldn't or should be doing. All right. She got caught. All right. And anytime a black woman does something criminal, everybody form together like Voltron and his blazing sword to slay the road beast, which is her feelings and her accountability. Accountability for them is the road beast that needs to be slayed by Voltron. Everybody coming together to slay it. And while they're doing that, these brothers here are still being held in Ecuador for 30 years for stuff they didn't do. We'll get into that. All right. This is how the media frames it. All right, the New York Times. And you can't believe any quotes coming from the U.S. media. You can't believe anything coming from the U.S. media. People with sense are now checking other media sources outside of the U.S. because these people in the U.S., to include Facebook, YouTube, and the people that are allowed to get on it, are liars. The difference between them and us regular people is we do research and we put our research in the description box, and so you can go get it. That's what makes us different. All right. Or we'll do research on a bunch of stuff It's gotten so bad with the U.S. media that real reporters like Epic Times stopped reporting on the war because almost everything they were putting out when they were sourcing U.S. media turned out to be a lie and propaganda. Ergo, we start with this. As per the statement by the police department in Russia, this is according to the New York Times. The athlete has been arrested over drug charges. The athlete who has been arrested over drug charges has won two. They didn't say that. Nobody knows who this woman is. Some people don't know she's a woman. All right. So she got more night, but she's D-list at best. It is our media, the people in the United States, that's trying to pump these people above. And when I get to Ryan Coogler, what happened to him? Okay, that's these people that's trying to pump these people above what they really are. All right, and I was in comment section of a couple of white men who say that, yeah, this is totally BS and unfair. You break the law somewhere else, you got to suffer the consequences. And I had to point out that if she was an Afro man, all right, because white men like the dude that went to China or something, and they flogged him because he broke their laws there, and the United States intervened on their manner of justice. So they didn't give him as many lashes because the United States intervened because he was a white man. The United States media, the women, especially the black women, are now intervening in this thing because she's supposed to be allowed to do whatever the hell she wants and not have to be held accountable for it, even though she's claiming to be a man, even though she took the man's position in a marriage. She's not supposed to be punished like a man for breaking the law. Understand this. Now, according to reports established by the New York Times, all right, so this is the New York Times quoting this, not the Russian TASS agency. The Russian news agency TASS, citing law enforcement, identified the player as Brittney Griner. And that's probably all the law enforcement did. They say this is Brittney Griner. They looked at her ID because they really didn't know who. They really wouldn't know that she's the 7-time WNBA because nobody watches the WNBA. Come on now, All-Star center for the Phoenix Mercury. Griner won a gold medal with the U.S. women's national basketball team in 2021 and in 2016. Who cares? Except for the Olympics, nobody's following the WNBA like that. All right? Period. But that's like the reason why the brothers at the beginning, these brothers that's in Ecuador, their stuff is going unheard because dudes are pretty much um throwing all their money at these women on Instagram stuff, people they ain't never going to see. All right, and that's who's getting the love, the thugs and everybody that's tearing apart the community. These brothers right here, they ain't heard a peep since they've been down there. I think it's going on a couple years now. And this is a really sad story. See, y'all don't know this story because the only people concerned about these stories are those of us that travel and try to show love in some of these places. But some of these places are corrupt as hell. And so you got to be careful. What did these dudes do? Okay. Um, they were wrongly imprisoned, extorted for $1 million, and they faced 34 years for a double homicide with absolutely no evidence. And it goes deeper than this. All right. I'm going to break this down with the quickness. These brothers went down there. One brother went down there, asked his other brother to come down there. They had a friend there that is from Ecuador, right? They buy up a bunch of land and start having parties on that land. The indigenous people got jealous, wanted them gone, and that's how the setup happened. When you listen to the story, there is no evidence. So they're in there for no evidence. The reason why there is no evidence, because the people that went digging up and they said, oh, there are some dead bodies around the property. So they don't know this. They don't know that they probably bought land close to a burial site. So the indigenous people, not the indigenous police people, the indigenous people go dig up some bones and say, see, no DNA test, no nothing, no forensic, no nothing. They dig up some bones, human remains, two, probably a husband and a wife that was buried on their land or near their land in a ritual ceremony, not murdered, but just died. These Americans come down here, they don't have a clue. And guess who's not getting involved? Well, the United States media is not involved. You know why they're not involved? Because when we Afro men talk about this, not only do y'all not watch our videos, unless we talking about Meg the Stallion or somebody, unless we're talking about celebrities, y'all don't watch our videos. On TikTok, the people that watch me and subscribe to me the most are the brothers that follow me on YouTube, but they're outnumbered by Caucasian men and women who are looking for solutions. And they look at my videos, even though they know I am Afrocentric in how I approach it, even though they know that it's a spiritual thing that has nothing to do with Jesus, but more like commandment. They see this, and so they said, well, what's your solution? Because they see the unbiased thought, right? But our people, the so-called black people, these dudes will rot in jail while people like me, Brother Rob, that first brought this story to my attention, BC born Rob, right? He goes to Colombia a lot. And us travelers, we're the ones that's trying to keep this up in the light. But we ain't getting no love from so-called black people raised by these single black mamas that taught them to not care about the Afro men. But these are the same people that's trying to, a woman that where police dogs caught her and she had a lot of stuff on her. And she might have been part of a ring. Because the thing is, what is she doing in Russia? These dudes, the jail that they're in, there was a gang battle. And 5 people were beheaded in the jails in Ecuador. Brittney Griner, now she is a political tool for Putin because America made her that. Why? Because no matter how detrimental the behaviors of um, so-called black women are to us Afro men in the so-called black community, they get all these sympathy points even when they did wrong, blatant wrong. Because No one in the world is allowed to hold them accountable, apparently. Y'all better understand this phrase right here. Y'all better understand this. They never had our backs. They were busy stabbing us in the back, but they never had our back. Y'all better understand. You see it in every decision they make in life. Remember, this is not sex appeal. This is simp appeal. They're going to drain the simps dry, use all the money they got from the simps, and pander themselves out to the thugs like they've been doing. Brothers, it's time to wake up and understand that we have nothing but traitors in our midst. Period. And it seems that they are using their bodies as assets to destroy us while saying, oh, we got their back. These traitors don't have our backs. They don't have anybody's backs. They don't give a damn about the community or the children in it. Remember, my whole thing is we need to have something to raise children in. What they're offering is not viable. With that said, I'm out.